Testination Part 2, the National IQ Test 2003. Time to find out just how bright we Britons are. Please welcome back your hosts this evening, Anne Robinson and Philip Schofield.
Exciting in here. Welcome back to Testination. Tonight looks like being the world's biggest ever live IQ test. We're having a fantastic evening. In a moment, we'll be giving you the answers. Philip will be analysing the results, and hopefully some of you might discover you're brighter than you thought. What do you reckon, blondes? Yeah! They're beautiful anyway, aren't they?
They are very beautiful, and they're feeling very positive.
Yeah, they're actually very jolly, our blondes, aren't they?
And very gorgeous.
And even our tax inspectors are quite jolly, aren't they?
Yeah, I think you might have gone a bit far there, I'm not sure. Now, we'll also be looking at IQ right across the UK. The data from people who took part on the website is, as I speak, being analysed by a computer so clever it could have taken the test by itself, if only it could have got the top off the biro. So soon we will be able to reveal which part of the country has the highest IQ, speaking live to Britain's highest scoring web player and checking out any changes from last year's results. Will Edinburgh still be our cleverest capital? Will Leicester be a loser or a winner once again? And will the whole Welsh nation be weeping into its lava bread as it comes bottom of the nations for the second year running?
It'll be brilliant, Wales. You'll come first. Now, of course, we'll know which of our studio groups has excelled here tonight. Remember the blondes? They came last in 2002, so a chance to redeem themselves. The mechanics. By the way, Paula Radcliffe's car broke down on the M1, so she might take one of you home. Anyway, they can make things work, but can they work things out? The musicians. They've woken up a little. I don't know what they've been doing in the break. They can tackle a complicated score, but is that the key to a high IQ? And, of course, the city traders. Well, their IQs be as large as their bank balances. And then there's the bodybuilders. Are their brains as thick as those arms? And maybe only their bodies are good for, like even weightlifting. Finally, our friends indeed, the tax inspector. The lovely tax inspectors who we all keep in a job. And of course, as well, our very brave celebrities. I'm really interested how our celebrities do two firsts there. Two of them got firsts at university, but we'll know the truth very soon.
So you can relax now. We said, you know, don't have anything to drink whilst you're taking the test, but now open that bottle, have a beer, relax, enjoy the rest of the programme because the work is done. Everyone who's played interactively on digital television or on the web have already received their results. As the answers are revealed, they will know whether they triumphed or whether they were tripped up. But a big thank you to all our web players. It's their data that provides a snapshot of national intelligence and also allows us to compare individual scores.
Well, time now for the moment of truth. Very good luck to everyone who took the test tonight. Colin, one last word from you.
Well, can I make it into 3 last words, please, Anne?
Well, go on. Make it snappy, Superman, Cooperman.
OK. First of all, nobody should expect to get all of the questions right. I wouldn't mind making a small bet that nobody in the country will get all of the questions right tonight. So even if you don't feel you've done wonderfully, keep on with us. You know, your IQ may well be higher than you expect it to be. Secondly, even if your IQ is less than 100, and for half of us it will be, remember that's not the only important thing about you. I've known plenty of people with high IQs being complete monsters, and other people with low IQs being absolutely lovely. So your IQ is only one part of you. And finally, if you want to blame it on something else, just think that you might have been too anxious or you might have been distracted by something while you were taking the test. All sorts of things can bring down your IQ. So if all else fails, justify it like that.
Mrs. Mensah, would you think that there is anyone who could answer the 70 questions? Would you agree with Colin?
Absolutely, because if people could actually answer all the questions, it wouldn't discriminate at the higher end. Good.
Here comes the answers to the National IQ Test 2003. Now, they couldn't care less, actually. They're very, very jolly in here. Remember, you score 1 point for a correct answer, 0 for a wrong answer. Obviously, you don't include the example questions. Have you got that, blondes? The first section was language. OK, the first 6 questions were about sayings. In each one, we asked which alternative meant the same as the one highlighted. Question 1, look before you leap. The answer, of course, is A, think ahead. Question 2, too many cooks spoil the broth. The answer is C, jobs get done better if one person is in charge. Question 3, they that dance must pay the fiddler. The answer is D, you don't get something for nothing. Question 4, you can't make an omelette without breaking eggs. The answer is A, it's sometimes difficult to avoid hurting people. Question 5, don't put the cart before the horse. The answer is D, do things in order. Question 6, a stitch in time saves 9. The answer C, prevention is better than cure. Question 7, a rod becomes road, so the related word is B, pavement. Question 8, sob OK becomes books, so the related word is A, read. Question 9, ear gag becomes garage, so the related word is D, car. Question 10, bleat becomes table, so the related word is D, chair. Question 11, tutor becomes trout. Quite difficult, I thought, that one. So the related word is B, salmon. Question 12, opera lane is aeroplane, so the related word is B, fly. And that is the end of the language section.
So with the celebrities now, that's our first section out of the way. Let's see how they did. Arabella, we mentioned earlier on, we're doing a little experiment about heavy babies, light babies. The heavier you are when you were born, the brighter you should be. You were actually a very heavy baby, weren't you?
Amazingly, yes. I was a very heavy baby, but considering I thought that door was spelt with an A, then I'm obviously not doing that well tonight. I was thinking, wait a minute, door, D-O-A-R.
What did you weigh when you were born?
I was 11.5 pounds when I was born.
Are you confident this evening?
I'm getting less confident by the minute. So, yeah, I'm confident-ish.
Richard, is stand-up sort of helping you here, good for the memory?
It's not helping me here, but it's good for memory, because obviously you have to try and remember each joke, and if you don't, then you die. So, no pressure or anything. But here, is it helping me? I actually did very good. I was looking at those right there. I know you're going to look at me and smile and say, no, you never, but I was looking just then, and I think I got 3 wrong, 2 or 3. I think I did, so there you go.
But the trouble is you can't remember whether you got them wrong.
No, well, no, but the thing is, my stand-up's coming back, I could feel it, and yeah, I remember.
Paula, I'm heartened by the fact that you do have the occasional glass of red wine. It's supposed to be good for the mind, and it's one of those things you think, oh, thank goodness for that. At least there's something we can enjoy that's actually, in moderation, good for us. But you do drink it.
You were spying on me in the green room, were you?
I can't say.
We live and train part of the year in France, and you can't live in France without having some red wine.
But not before...
Not before training, after training.
How long before do you stop?
I wouldn't generally the night before a race.
Right.
And I wouldn't in excess in the 5 or 6 weeks before a race. But I would have a glass of wine with a meal.
OK. And Brian, you're no friend to computers, are you, Brian?
No.
How did you work your keypad? Was that all right? Keypad OK?
I could manage the keypads, but I did have... when I was at university, when I was acquiring the famous 2-1, I managed to crash the entire university computer. And in those days, it was the university computer, the only one. There weren't little ones. And I crashed it and took it down. And they had a board meeting to decide if I should stay in the university or not. It was
but also,
a lot of money.
it's happened since, because didn't you lose a chapter of your book?
Well, I'm not better with small computers either. I was writing a chapter for a book, and I emailed it off and then closed the computer, opened it up and found it wasn't there. So, never mind, it's on the email. No, it wasn't. Lost the lot, had to rewrite it.
And how do you think you've done this evening?
I'm becoming increasingly depressed and hoping that, you know, the bias towards age will help me enormously, because I'm doing well on the questions.
Let's have a look at our leaderboard now and see what our other groups have done so far. Here we go. The first look at our leaderboard. The bodybuilders sit at the bottom at the moment with 73%. That bloke in the mechanics is saying, please let me beat the bodybuilders. Well, let's have a look where you are. And we... Oh, the mechanics... 1%! Just 1% in it. And above the mechanics, we've the musicians. And the blondes at 82%. Music, of course, is supposed to help your IQ. What's happening there, musicians? It's a disaster. Still a long way to go, but blondes, terrific. That's a great result. Above the blondes, we have the tax inspectors at 85%. Just so long as they don't win, we're all right so long as they don't win. Celebrities at 86%, which means that the leading group are the City Traders with 88%. Let's go and have a word with our City Traders. They would be the furthest away, wouldn't they? Well done, City Traders. Now, there's obviously a long way to go, but how do you feel now?
I'm slightly surprised at that.
Are you? Yes. No, said the crowd. Who said no? Who said no then? Who said no? It was him.
Guilty. Well, I think on a day-to-day basis we're quite dexterous. We have to think very quickly, so we work with a lot of numbers and figures, and I think we'll do well.
There's also, we're going to talk about salary a little bit later on. How much... Seeing as the car park's full of Porsches out there. Seeing as apparently the more you earn, the higher your IQ. I mean, you guys are well paid. I mean, oh, come on, for goodness sake. Do you think that has any bearing on your IQ?
No, I don't think so. If you look at Matthew apart, of course, a lot of sportsmen generally leave school early, so they, as was said earlier, continuing education, you know, you build up your IQ. Obviously, they're high earners, but on the field, they have to think very, very quickly. You know, they pass A, pass B. I'm only talking about football, but a lot of sportsmen have left school, have left formal education very early, but it doesn't make them stupid. They're very, very intelligent, and to be able to think very, very quickly and react, and also to speak to people like you with a microphone shoved in front of their face.
Well, you're not doing so bad, are you? You can stop now. Thank you. Well done. Terrific.
The City Traders are so modest with it, aren't they? OK, time to reveal the answers to our second section. Here we were testing your ability to recall both pictures and words. 1 point for a right answer, nothing if you got it wrong. Here are the answers for the memory section. Now, visual memory first. We asked you to look at a picture and answer the related question. Question 13, we showed you this picture. Then asked in which direction the man and woman were looking. The answer is A, they were looking towards each other. Let's have another look. There you are. I think they're fast asleep, actually, but anyway. Question 14. Here's the picture. Beautiful red arrows. And here we asked how many had smoke coming out of the rear. And the answer C, 5. Here's the picture again. Question 15. There's the picture of the paints. And we asked which colour was just to the left of the yellow pot. And the answer was B, green, as you'll see now. Question 16, here's the picture. That nice bus. And we asked what was the number of the bus. I thought this was easy if you've ever caught this bus. I used to catch this bus. The answer was D, 137. Question 17, we asked how many pairs of lace holes were there on each shoe. The answer C, 5, as you can see. Question 18, look at the picture again. This was tough, actually. And we asked what the sign was above the products. And the answer was D, farm produce, as you can see there. And moving on to the next block of questions in this section, we were testing your memory for words. Remember that disappearing grid that you had to memorise for 45 seconds. We then asked you a series of questions about it. Colin, what was the knack with this?
Basically, there's a few sort of tips you can use if you ever get these things in future. The best thing you can do is to try to visualise the picture as best you can. So if you're shown sulking elephant, just sort of imagine an elephant stomping along and acting like a teenager or something like that. And if you've got a long list like we had there, try to concentrate more on the ones in the middle than you usually would. Because we know that you tend to remember the ones at the start and the ones at the end very easily, but the ones in the middle we tend to forget about.
OK, just going back to that bus, it must be easier if you remember getting one of those number buses.
Well, possibly, yes, but...
And how would you know that it was the number and not to count the windows or something else? Is there a trick?
Well, the best bet is to probably try and think what questions we could ask you about it, because there are a couple of posters on the top of the bus which are very small writing, and we couldn't have asked you about that because some people couldn't read it. So the obvious things were what was the colour of it, what was the number on it, and not too much else.
OK. Question 19 was which word was paired with red? And it was D, car. Question 20, we asked what was paired with long? And the answer was B, curtains. Question 21, which word was paired with tattered? And the answer was A, dress. Tattered dress. Question 22, what went with happy? Well, it was A, dog. Question 23, what went with old? And the answer was house. Question 24, which word was paired with pretty? And the answer was C, dish. And that's the end of the memory section.
Let's see whether the memory section has shaken up our scoreboard here, our leaderboard. Here we go. Let's have a look and see if it's changed at all. At the bottom, the mechanics at 73%, ship tied with the bodybuilders. You cheered too soon there, didn't you? Oh, no. OK, 73%, still respectable and a long way to go. OK, above that, we have the blondes and the musicians at 77%. We really are expecting more of the musicians, and also, of course, from the blondes, but you know what I'm saying. Above the musicians, we have the celebrities at 78%. Respectable, but not brilliant. We have above that the city traders and the tax inspectors. Oh, no! Tax inspectors. Tax inspectors. Oh. You know, I'm just finding it so hard to come over here. Well done, well done. OK, so you're tying with the city traders.
Yeah,
so, obviously, in the lead. It's all very tight, very close. Do you think you're going to be able to snatch this lead away from them?
Yeah, I think we will be able to.
Yeah?
A lot better on that section than the first section.
Should we feel warmer towards you, tax inspectors? I mean, you've been given a very hard time this evening.
No, we're lovely.
Are you?
Yeah, you should be much nicer to us. And you will be in future, won't you, Philip?
I love you. Well done, tax inspectors. Let's see whether you can hold on to that lead, Anne.
I love the idea that the tax inspectors might beat the city traders. OK. Now we come to the largest section in our test tonight. You had to answer 4 blocks of questions, all of them under the heading logic. First up was complex sentences, and listen carefully to the explanations here. Question 25. The answer is B, and here's why. The correct answer can't be A, because it's a vowel. And it can't be C or D because they both appear in the word curdle. OK? Question 26. C is the correct answer. We know from the second sentence that Harry is a fish, and we are told that fish are often but not always found in ponds, so C is the correct answer. On to question 27. And here the answer was D, because Andrew is taller than Lindsay, but we don't know whether Andrew is taller than Ryan. Very, very quiet in here at the moment. Question 28. Now, this was actually a lot easier than it looked. The answer B, because the last letter of the sentence is C, and everything else that we're told is irrelevant. Question 29. The answer is C. Here's why. Paris is not the capital of Germany, which eliminates B. Elephants are larger than cats, which eliminates A. June is normally warmer than January, which gets rid of D. Mrs. Mensa, just look up from your studying. Is that how you all talk to each other at Mensa conferences?
Oh, yes, sure, Anne. I'm sure you don't really believe that.
Is there a fun element of Mensa?
Yes, they're laughing. It's actually a very good social club, and I'm more likely to be dancing the night away or driving a double-decker bus on a skid pan than doing a quiz.
Right, so you have parties?
We have parties.
Do you have singles evenings?
Well, we have a lot of single people, and we have a single special interest group.
And are there more women than men in Mensa?
No, there's more men than women.
So it's brilliant for single girls. There you go.
Bright single ladies looking for a bright man. Wonderful.
Oh, good. There had to be something good about Mensa. For our second block of questions in the logic section, you were asked to name the odd one out. Question 30, the answer is D. Tomato is the odd one out because it is the only one that grows above ground. Question 31. What are you laughing at, bodybuilders? Question 31A is the answer. Draft is the odd one out because it's not a form of water. Question 32, the answer is D, cube, because it's the only three-dimensional shape. Question 33, B, nylon's the odd one out because it is the only synthetic fabric. Question 34, C, pint is the odd one out because the others are all metric. And that was question 34 out of a total of 70, which means we're about halfway through. Still in the logic section, next we tackled analogies. There were 6 questions in this block. Here are the answers. Question 35. Now, light bulb is to electricity as watermill is to, well, a light bulb is powered by electricity and a watermill is powered by a river, so the answer is D. Question 36, pen is to novel, as scalpel is to write, to write a novel you use a pen, and to perform an operation you use a scalpel. So the answer A. Question 37, tooth is to dentist as tap is to. The person who fixes teeth is called a dentist, well, we knew that, and the person who fixes a tap, hopefully, is the plumber. So the answer D. Question 38, icing is to cake as sheet is to, and you find icing on top of a cake and you find a sheet on top of a bed. So the answer C. Question 39, C is to salty as chili is to. The C is salty and chili is hot, so the answer is C. Question 40, inoculation is to illness as lock is to. Well, inoculation prevents illness and a lock prevents a burglary, so the answer A. Celebrities, we've got to question 40, the big 4-0. Is anyone celebrating? Matthew?
I'm not celebrating, no. I'm just annoyed that I want to take Cooperman outside and giving him a good kiss.
The women wouldn't like that. They're very, very keen on Superman, Cooperman. Fern, how are you doing?
Well, the first 2 rounds I was quite confident with. I was thinking, oh, it's quite easy. And then we got to logic, and it just ended up being lots of words, and I was just looking at a big scramble of mess on the screen, and my head was thinking, oh, I've got to feed the cats and stuff like that. So I went all a bit wrong on that round. Sorry, guys.
Well, still some more to come, so don't worry. We're still with logic, and our last block of questions in this section, all about shape analogies. Let's have a look at them again. Question 41. The shape is stretched horizontally, so the answer is A. Question 42. The shape increases and the arrow rotates 90 degrees within the shape, so the answer is C. Question 43. The outside shape on the first diagram becomes the inside shape on the second diagram, and vice versa, so the answer's D. Question 44. Here, the central shape flips horizontally, while the line flips vertically, so the answer is C. Question 45. The rear shape in the first diagram becomes the front shape in the second diagram in the same position, and the shapes swap their colours, so the answer's A. Question 46. The top shape in the first diagram flips vertically and moves over the middle shape. The middle shape stays exactly as it is, and the bottom shape moves up into the top position. So the answer's D. Yes. And that is the end of the logic section.
So our leaderboard is looking interesting now, because we've got a couple of battles. We've got the battle down at the bottom between the mechanics and the bodybuilders. And we've got the battle at the top between the city traders and the tax inspectors. So let's see whether or not any of that has changed after that section. We can see that we have the mechanics on 67% correct so far. We have the bodybuilders at 69%, a bit of a lead opening there for the bodybuilders. And above that, we have the oh, no. 74% for the celebrities, the musicians, and the blondes. Oh, they are so thrilled with that. Above them, we have the tax inspectors and the city traders at 80%. Let's have a word with the blondes over here. I'll go that side. Okay. So you were here last time.
That's right.
And you played amongst the losing side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this time you're doing very well.
Of course.
You made some changes to yourself,
did.
didn't you? What changes did you make so that you did better this time?
Not the ones most probably people are thinking at the moment.
Right.
I actually had my nails trimmed down by almost an inch.
Let me look at your nails.
They were an inch longer than that, more or less.
OK, and you found that last time they were interfering with the keypad?
Well, I thought that maybe when I was pressing one button, I might have been hitting the one behind it, so...
Yes, of course, I have to say that a lot of us in here will be thinking, my God, it's not her nails that are going to interfere with the keypad.
My earrings are
Your
quite
earrings
small.
are huge! Good luck, blondes!
OK, only 2 more sections left. Let's see how they're getting on. Arabella, can you see properly? Because Matthew is so busy leaning across you to look at the front row of the blondes there.
No, I can see perfectly well. Thank you for looking out for me there.
Dear, how are we doing now?
Not so great with the logic, particularly
No.
towards the end of the flipped shapes. I'm thinking, what? I've never even seen half those shapes.
If you had to take a bet on it, who would you think of the celebs will do
Of
best?
us?
Yeah.
Matthew? Fern, maybe?
Oh, no way.
No, that was a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, probably Sandy.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm pinning all my colours on Sandy. I'm hoping.
Matthew, you did the test last year,
I did the test last time, yeah.
and you got what?
About 180. It was quite difficult because I had a rolling score. About 118, I reckon.
What do you mean it was quite difficult?
Well,
You
because
had-
at the end you did this. I hope you're not going to do it again. But the
So it was our
rolling
fault.
scores
It was
was
our
very
fault, was
difficult.
it?
Yes, it's totally your fault, Anne.
OK,
I'm blaming
Sandy.
you.
Yes.
How do you feel you're doing now?
Well, I'm trying to stand up for the blondes. That's my...
I don't think they need any help, actually. Paula?
I'm in with the blondes as well, I think.
Are you? OK, Philip.
Now, this is very interesting. We did say that the numbers on the web would increase as we got the information through to us in the studio. Remember, the result of our web plays tonight provides us with an idea of the bigger picture when it comes to the National IQ last year. Amongst 100,000 people logged onto our website, so thank you to all of them. But we've done better this year. This year, I've just heard, I'll be told it again in just a moment, that the number of people playing on the internet this evening was a staggering 214,760 people. And it's rising all the time.
Great. Great news. Great news, that. And we still have 24 more questions to reveal. Now, our next section is our old favourite numbers. The first set of questions involve mental arithmetic. Here come the answers. Question 47, the answer is B, which was 5. What you do is you round 302 down to 300, 61 down to 60, which is 300 over 60, which is, in fact, 5. Question 48, the answer is B, 4. Here's why. 10% of 20 is 2, so 20% is 4. Question 49, the answer is B, 19. Again, 30 minus 11 is 19, while all of the other options equal 18. Question 50, the answer is A, a half. 1/3, this is how it goes, plus 1/6 is the same as 2/6 plus 1/6. That equals 3/6, which is the same as a half. OK, mechanics? Question 51, the answer is B, 52. Question 52, the answer is B, 4. If you work this backwards, it helps. 1/3 of 24 is 8. 1/4 of 8 is 2, and twice 2 equals 4. Now, Colin, maths does divide people, doesn't it?
It's very odd, actually, because everybody says that they hate it. But when we look at how people did on the pre-testing, because we've given all these items to large samples around the country alongside a standard IQ test, most people actually did quite well at them. It's most odd.
Why do people think they're not any good at maths? Why is it they're scared of maths? Or
well,
maybe it's an older generation is scared.
I think they just have horrible memories of wet Tuesday afternoons on a double period of Mr. Atkinson.
Yeah.
At least I do.
Well, I mean, it can be a rotten teacher right at the beginning, can't it, that puts you off maths?
I couldn't possibly comment.
I certainly could. Almost at the end of the numbers section, the next 6 questions came under the heading Mathematical Puzzles. Question 53, the answer is C, 1.6p, because the 100-watt bulb has 1/10 of the power of a 1,000-watt bulb, so it costs 0.8p for 1 hour and 1.6p for 2 hours. Question 54, the answer here was B, 100 centimetres. Here's why. In 2000, the rainfall was 120 centimetres, which is 20% more than in 1980. Now, if you think of the 1980 figure as 100%, 120 centimetres is 120%, so the answer must be 100 centimetres. Mustn't it, musicians? Yes. I don't know. Question 55, the answer is B, 81 kilograms. It works like this. If a person weighing 100 kilograms loses 1/10 of their weight, they'll weigh 90 kilograms. If they then lose a further 1/10 of their weight, they'll weigh 81 kilograms. Weren't they bodybuilders? Yes. They're not sure. Question 56, the answer is C, 150 grams. Here's how you get there. If 4 adults and 4 children sit down to dinner, that is the equivalent of 10 children. You then divide the pie by 10. Each portion will be 100 grams, and to get the adults' portion, add half as much again, giving 150 grams, although it might be easier to have a takeaway. Question 57. The answer here is C, 4. Suppose the first spoon was blue and the second spoon chosen was red and the third spoon chosen was black. This is worst-case scenario. The next spoon would have to be one of the colours already pulled out of the drawer. Question 58. The answer is C, 50p. The shopping lists are the same apart from a bread roll, which must cost 25p. From the second list, we know 2 tins plus a bread roll cost £1.25p. Therefore, 1 tin cost 50p. And that's the end of the numbers section.
I don't even understand the explanation. Right, OK. Now then, Jeremy, blood pressure all right?
Yeah, not so good now. The maths was fine. I was good on that. The logic one before, though, was terrible.
Right, so, but numbers OK?
Yeah, numbers were good. I think I pretty well.
You're engaged to Rachel from S Club? Yeah. Is she very beautiful? Very brainy?
Yeah, well, she's more of the brains in the relationship. I'm more of the beauty.
Why?
What?
Would you like to know how you did in the numbers section?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, OK, go on.
I'll tell you who the two top, just in the numbers section, with 86%, the two top celebs were Jeremy and Paula. Funny, you're side by side. Sandy's obviously not pleased with that. You were a little unhappy.
No, just a chance thing that they were sitting next to each other, that's all I'm saying. We got different ones wrong.
And Brian, your famous quote, of course, you counted them all in and counted them all out. You would expect to be good with numbers, you know, good at counting?
That was on figures.
Right, OK.
Can't use fingers on this.
What about numbers? What about numbers?
Up and down.
Only so-so?
Only so-so.
Are you going to reveal your IQ at the end of the programme?
Why not?
Oh, you brave man. That's very without even thinking. Well done, you. And Richard, are you going to get any sort of stand-up material out of this evening?
No. Yeah, here's a joke for you. 3 + 3. No, it's not going to work. I'm actually deliberating right now if I'm going to show my IQ test at the end.
Are you? You're not decided?
Hell no, I'm not decided. No, because I thought I was up there with these guys and I'm not. So I'm going to look stupid.
Well, you might be. No, I just gave the top.
You
could have been just 1%.
When you say that. I don't like the smile. You look like you don't go to church. I just don't know. I don't trust.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if we can persuade you later on. But, of course, nobody has to reveal their IQ. That's one condition of coming on the programme.
Give me a cough if it's good.
OK.
Then I'll reveal it.
OK. Yeah. All right. OK, mate. No, not a problem. Let's have a look at our leaderboard and see whether it's changed. Here we go. At the bottom, the mechanics with 64%. We have above them the bodybuilders with 65%. It's stuck there. Above that, we have the blondes at 69%. The celebrities are 70% with the musicians. We have above them tax inspectors at 78%, which means that in the lead now, the city traders at 79%. Let's, celebrities, how do you feel about your... Sandy, how do you feel about your position here? I mean, is that you happy to be in the middle?
I like being in the middle. I think it's a nice, safe place. We are the ham in the sandwich at the moment, and I think that's...
It's never a good move for the celebs to be top, is it, really?
No, that looks... We're letting the public have a lovely evening, and...
Let me have a quick word with our musicians, because we've been saying all the way along that musical ability is linked to IQ. I haven't done this side, and I may as well run. What's going on with this? This is a catastrophe for the musicians.
It's getting better. We're getting there.
Slowly.
We're ahead of the blondes, at least. I mean...
We'd have to be here till tomorrow.
Save the best till last. We're going to succeed in the final section.
You're very confident. Feel confident, musicians? Yes! OK, let's see. Annie.
Do you know, I just feel slightly sorry for the tax inspectors, because they weren't doing so well. No, and they're so pleased with themselves, these city traders. OK, we're now into the final section of the test. 2 blocks of questions left, the ones that came under the heading perception. And And the first 6 questions were jigsaws. Didn't sound too challenging, but did all the pieces fall into place? Let's find out. We showed you some jigsaws with missing pieces, and we asked you to find the piece left over. Question 59. Let's look. It's a telephone, and the remaining piece is D. Question 60, the car. The piece left over was A. Question 61, the pussycat. The piece left, C. Question 62, the scissors. And the leftover piece, D. Question 63, the cup and saucer. The remaining piece was D, that handle. Question 64, a chair, the jigsaw piece left over, C. OK, just 6 questions to go and a final chance to bump up your scores and come across as the much brainier. These ones were all about visualisation. Here come our last 6 answers. Question 65. Now, on a standard UK push-button phone, where is the 0 key? City traders must have known this. Let's fill in the numbers on the handset, and as you can see, the answer is C. OK? Question 66. You write these letters on a piece of paper and view them in a mirror. What do you see? Well, let's see how those letters would look if you viewed them in a mirror. And as you can see, the answer is A. Question 67. Which of the figures below do not show this group of 3D shapes from another perspective? Well, A could be viewed from the left, B from the right, and C from above, but D could not be a view of these shapes. Question 68. You see this sentence reflected in a mirror. How many letters? What's all that about? They're all mumbling, they're all cross in the studio. Letters in the original are back to front. Now, if we flip the letters the right way round, we can see there are, in fact, 2 letters the wrong way round. So the answer was C. That might have actually caused the city traders some grief. So, question 69. You drive along the route marked in red. How many left turns do you make? Let's have a look at the route. And we can see there are 6 left turns. So the answer, B. Finally, question 70. OK, wait for this. Which photo has something odd about it? Let's turn the photos the right way round. The answer is C, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Her mouth, you may or may not notice, is upside down, but at least it isn't full of wedding cake. That's it! You've done it! To see who's the top now. Congratulations, anyway. You've just completed the National IQ Test 2003. Well done. OK, all you have to do is add up your score. It'll be out of 70. 1 point for every correct answer. Bodybuilders, wrong answer, score 0. Are you all right with that? And while you do, let's catch up with Philip.
It's great news with the web result here, the amount of people who've actually taken part online, and this number is still rising all the time. The number we're up to now is 232,872. We could get up to 250,000 by the end of the evening. Well done, everyone here in the studio. Now, if anyone has spent the past year eating fish in an attempt to boost their brain power, you will soon find out if all those plates of pilchards were actually in vain. Now, as Annie says, you should now be adding up your score. You will get a total out of 70. Now, don't worry, that is not your IQ, mechanics. All right? It's OK, not a problem. We'll be showing you how to work that out in a moment. Now, here in the studio, our computer is working out our winning group and our winning individual and also our winning celebrity. Already, I can tell you that there is somebody in the studio with an IQ of 135, which is very high. I don't think I'm... Modest round of applause. People thinking, no, that's very good, it's not me. Marvellous. Yeah, terrific. We're really pleased for you. And I don't think I'm giving anything away when I say that it is not, sadly, one of our celebrities. And it is also not a blonde. I'm sorry about that. I'm very sorry. Annie.
I'm sorry it's not a celebrity. Never mind. You can have bravery awards instead. Now, you've heard all the answers. Has anyone changed their mind about how well they've done? Fern?
Yeah, kind of. But can I ask a question? If it's really rubbish, my IQ, is it, if I'm 21, is that an excuse, you know, because I'm young?
No, that's even worse, Fern.
Right, OK. OK.
Because at 21, you should, you know, you're at your peak, and you should be doing really,
so
really
it's all
well.
downhill? OK.
Yeah. Do you not think you've done very well?
In the ones that I knew I was good at, memory and perception, I think I was OK at. Maths, terrible. Absolutely terrible.
OK. Paula, do you feel as confident as you did when you got to those last few steps of the marathon?
No.
No?
No, I think I knew that I was quite a way ahead, and here, I think I've done not too badly, but I pushed the wrong button on one.
OK. Now, Jeremy, and Edwards was the top scorer this time last year, Jonathan Edwards. How do you feel you've done?
I think I've done all right. I only had one section that I think I went particularly wrong, and everything else I was fairly confident in. But, you know...
You're meant to be in Australia at the moment, aren't you, in Helby City?
Yeah, I flew back just for this.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Right, you haven't got a suntan?
Not much, no. I try and
Are you coming on the Weakest Link again?
If you want me to, Anne, I'll take you on again any day.
I can't remember how well you did.
I did all right. I got knocked out just before the final. But I put you down very well.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Arabella, which is best, your IQ or your cooking skills?
Oh, God, definitely my IQ. It doesn't say much for my cooking, does it?
No.
After tonight. But no, I think I've done fairly badly, so I'm quite pleased.
OK. Colin, remind us again the average IQ.
Well, the average IQ for any age band is, by definition, 100. So if you score over 100, you're above average IQ. Below 100, you're below average IQ. And about two-thirds of us score between about 90 and 110.
OK. And Mrs Mensa, people will shortly be finding out their IQs. Tell me about high IQs, which you've got one, haven't you? Otherwise, you wouldn't be called Mrs Mensa.
I wouldn't, no, that's right.
OK.
On this test, if you score 130 or above, you're in the top 2%. That's 1 in 50 people.
Yeah.
You know, 1 on every bus. And if, you know, that is the score that you would need to get into Mensa, top 2%.
But they'd actually have to take a test for Mensa. They can't qualify just by tonight.
No, they would have to.
But it's a huge encouragement. If people get a high score tonight, they can apply to join Mensa, they can get to the singles evening and find themselves a bloke, can't they? OK? Hear that, blondes? Good. Right. Well, by now you should have added up your points at home, and all that remains is to convert them into your actual IQ score. Colin, help us through this.
Right, when we were constructing this test, it's not a simple process, and we actually developed a table to allow us to convert the score out of 70 into an IQ. So if you look at the table on the screen now, and look first at the left-hand column, headed test score, and basically look down there until you see the score out of 70 that you've got. Don't worry if you can't see it on there at the moment, because we're going to scroll this for you in a few minutes. So look down there until you see the score that you have out of 70. And then look across until you find the column which has your age in it. So, for example, if a 58-year-old person scored 28, their IQ would end up as 81.
OK, tell us about the age bands, how important they are.
Well, the age bands are there because, as we say, people tend to peak in the 20 to 34 age group. Younger than that and older than that, we're past our, not reached our prime or past it. And so we have to use these tables to take account of that.
And if you're under 16?
Right, the test hasn't been designed for under 16s because under 16, your score changes with age quite rapidly. And so the test isn't really for you. But what you can do if you want to is look at the 16 to 18-year-old age group, and that will give you a rough estimate of what your IQ might be, but it will underestimate your score. You will actually be brighter than it appears from this table.
Oh, good. OK, so here comes the look-up table. What you need to do is look down the left-hand column to find your test score. That's the number of questions you answered correctly. Look across from your test score to find the column that corresponds to your age, and the figure there is your IQ. And if you've played along tonight and are under 16, then you should look in the lowest age band shown. It will only give you a guide to your IQ. As Colin said, it's not an accurate measure, and it'll probably underestimate your IQ. OK? And, of course, you can also find the look-up table on page 625 of CFAX. I've never, ever announced anything other than 625, page 625. Everything is on page 625 of CFAX. And on our website, which is bbc.co.uk/testthenation. Philip.
Right, thank you, Annie. I have just heard that the final results are now in. We can bring you the amazing facts and figures about the National IQ Test 2003. In my hand, you will see them on that screen over there. Let's first of all have a look at the UK home nations. That's Northern Ireland, England, Scotland and Wales. I can tell you that that last year Northern Ireland got 108 along with England with 108. Scotland got 107. Wales were at the bottom with 106. So, will the Welsh this evening reverse their fortunes and climb up that chart? Here we go. We can see that Wales at 103, England 104, Scotland 105. So England and Scotland have swapped, and Northern Ireland stay top, but they drop 2 points. 106 for Northern Ireland. Wales, there is always next year. OK, BBC regions now. Let's have a look at our BBC regions. We can see that the South East got 103. Moving up now through Wales, West Midlands, South West, lots of 104s. Lots of 104s, in fact. East Cumbria. The West is 105. Now, the West actually were on top last year with 115. These scores are down on last year. Up the top, Northern Ireland 106, and the top BBC region is the South at 107. So that's an 8-point drop, and the South East stay bottom. Right, capital cities now. Let's have a look at our capital cities. We can see that. Now, last year, Edinburgh got 110, Belfast got 109, Cardiff and London got 107. So we've got Cardiff on 103 down the bottom, London with 105, Edinburgh got 106, so that means that at the top, we've Belfast with 106. Belfast and Edinburgh tie. Move up to first, Belfast. Well done. Cardiff stay at the bottom. Right now, then, our major cities around the UK. Let's have a look at our major cities. And how did Leicester do? Because, of course, last year Leicester got 119. Londonderry were at the bottom with 102. So hopefully Londonderry will have done better this year. Birmingham, Plymouth, Glasgow and Newcastle with 103. We've Aberystwyth with 104 and Liverpool at 104 with Manchester and Brighton. 105 now for Southampton and Norwich and Aberdeen and Leicester. 105, so they didn't win this time, but Londonderry got 107. They were bottom last year. This year, they're first. A terrific reversal of fortunes for Londonderry. Well done to you. Right, let's move on to some more results. First of all, now, baby weight, 5.5 pounds to 8.5 pounds is apparently an average birth weight. According to the guidelines from the Office of National Statistics, under 5.5 pounds is below average, above 8.5 is above average. So we've already said that the heavier you were as a baby, the higher IQ you should have. Annabelle? OK, should be much better here. Let's see if tonight's result reflect the expensive research. So we would expect to see below 5.5 with the lowest, above 8.5 with the highest. Yes, that's actually exactly what's happened. 99 for the below 5.5 pounds, 104 for the middleweights, and above 8.5 pounds, the heavier baby, the brighter the adult, 8.5 pounds, 106. So that bears out what we were talking about. Do you remember earlier on we met Louise Grimmond, who weighed 12 pounds, 13.5 ounces, and also Darren Peake, who weighed 3 pounds and 13 ounces. Who had the highest IQ? And I can tell you that Louise had the highest IQ. She got 113, and Darren got 109. So, very, very close. Not much in it at all. OK, right, let's move on. Well done to them. On to music now. It's said that listening to some kinds of music improves your test performance, especially if it's Mozart. For years, parents have been telling their kids nothing good comes out of listening to loud rock music. Look what it did to them. So let's have a look at the results. Classical, opera, rock, jazz, country, pop and dance. We can see that classical got 111. Opera, way down, actually, 104. Rock, 108. The jazz folk got 110. Country got 102, with pop and dance down to 101. So, actually, that's exactly what we thought it might be. Classical, the brightest. Pop and dance, apparently the lowest IQ. Earlier, you met our flautist Jennifer Stinton and Scott Crown, who is a mechanic. He is totally tone deaf. Who has the highest IQ out of them? I can tell you that it's a tie. They got exactly the same. So that proved nothing, actually, in the studio then. Obviously, it proved more up there than between the two of you. So as far as our studio is concerned, the musical ability had made no difference whatsoever, the IQ. Well done to you. Very good. Is there a link between the amount of booze you drink and the size of your IQ? Japanese researchers found that moderate drinking improved brain power in both men and women. The results are now in, and we can see that non-drinkers got 100, up to the weekly limit 107, and over the weekly limit 107. So the non-drinkers, self-righteous, and a lower IQ. So there we go. Well done. Terrific. Drinking in moderation could improve your IQ. Now, then, there's been a lot of research into salary and IQ. We were talking to the City Traders about it a little bit earlier on. The findings were that the higher your salary, the brighter you were. So, City Traders, let's find out whether or not that's borne out this evening. Here we go. And non-earners, 107. Below 20,000, 104. 20 to 30, 101. 99 for 31 to 50,000. Over 50,000 got the lowest IQ. The non-earners were the highest. Over 50,000 got 93. So that doesn't work at all. What we've been saying this evening, of course, that's tipped that right on its head. But, of course, if you earn over 50,000 a year, you don't give a stuff about your IQ anyway, do you? Now, the big one. In a magnificent moment last year in this very studio, men beat women by 7 IQ points. The final score was men 111, women 104. Are the men on top again? Steady, mechanics. Men and women, and it's the men! It's the men who come out on top. Let's go and have a word with our mechanics. Now, we don't know how you've done in the actual leaderboard as far as you know, the people in the studio is concerned, but certainly the blokes have come out on top.
My daughter's going to shoot me.
Why?
Because the mechanics lost.
Well, you don't know yet.
Well, it must be close.
Would have to be a hell of a turnaround, wouldn't it, if we're being honest?
Yeah, it would be a hell of a turnaround.
Who's shouting out at the top there? Someone was shouting then. Who was that? You up the top? Yeah, big mouth. Let's get up there. See what he's got to say. I hope it's interesting if you've maybe run up here. Oh. What do you say? So the women have been beaten by the men?
Of course.
Yeah? Happy with that?
Yeah.
You see, he shouted out, but when you get up with a microphone, he's gone quiet.
That's the trouble, isn't it? That's the trouble.
Yeah?
You got to turn around and say, yes, we should have beaten them, but only by a bit, isn't it?
Oh, well, that's very diplomatic.
We didn't want to ruin their evening.
You didn't want to ruin their evening?
didn't want to ruin their evening too much.
We can happily say that the men beat the women this evening, and we're thrilled with that.
Where would you be
without the ladies?
Now, they're just telling me that on the phone, yes, we do. We have our highest scoring web player tonight. Hello there.
Oh, hello.
It's a man.
Yes, of course.
Sir, what's your name?
It's John Mead.
John Mead, and what was your score?
149.
149, that is fantastic. John, congratulations. Very quickly, tell me where you come from.
I live in Hemel Hempstead now.
Hemel Hempstead. OK, how old are you?
56.
Oh, you're quite old, you see,
yes.
so you've done very well. Did you expect to do this well?
Yes.
Are you a member of Mensa?
No.
No, well, you should be.
No, I didn't want to join.
OK, just tell me, were you a heavy baby at birth or a light baby?
About just on 8 pounds.
OK, and tell me, what sort of music do you like?
Just about anything except heavy metal and rock music.
Oh, well, I think
classical to jazz.
The great thing is that actually your age, you've really done very... I know that sounds patronising, I don't mind it.
No, it's not
don't
sure.
mean it to be, but age 56 to get that fantastic score, congratulations.
Thank you very much indeed.
Just a very quick correction on our leaderboard. We actually gave the top age as 55 to 59. It should have been 55 to 69. So just to clarify that, that's on the lookup table, which we put up there, which is slightly wrong. Now then, we come to the crunch time for all of our groups here in the studio. Which of our 7 sets of people is the brightest? Now we'll find out as we reveal tonight's winning group. It could be the Mechanics, it could be. Here we go with our final leaderboard, and we can see that the Mechanics have 92, but they're happy with that. 92 is a respectable score, there's nothing wrong with that. The Bodybuilders have 95. Above that we have the Musicians with 100. Blondes on 101. In a remarkable turnaround. Well done, Blondes. A very respectable score. Above that, we have the Celebrities on 102. Well done, celebs. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing to be ashamed of. The Tax Inspectors have been beaten. 108. Which means that our brightest group in the studio with 111 is the City Traders. I think we should have one final word with our City Traders over here. Look at you on your feet. You are thrilled. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. You really didn't have any doubt right from the word go, did you?
I was a bit hesitant, yes.
Well,
The others weren't, though.
Yeah, you were all very positive, weren't you? Do you think you were going to clinch this right from the word go?
Oh, well, obviously.
You're, are we going to have to separate you and the tax inspectors when you leave?
Well, they probably, got our tax returns already.
Will you please give a huge round of applause to the City Traders? Now then, I am going to now reveal... Thank you, Mark. Who is the brightest person in this studio? So that information is just about to be fed down my ear. And the brightest person is not in the Musicians. Is not in the Mechanics. Is not in the Blondes. You won't find them in the Bodybuilders. The brightest person is either in the Tax Inspectors or in the City Traders. So if I walk over here just a little bit, you might think that it was in the Tax Inspectors. But it's not! It's in the City Traders! Right, so we've whittled it down to that. I'm getting this. This is being calculated as we speak. Let's find out who it is. Peter Wall! Peter Wall! Well done! Excellent. 135.
Good.
Well done. Did you know you got a high IQ when you came in here?
Yeah, I had a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, so have you been tested before?
Not properly, no.
No, but it's one of those... Did you take part in the quiz, in the test last year?
Yeah, just at home, yeah.
Right, and how did you do last year?
Not too bad, but I was disrupted by my little baby son.
Ah.
He kept crying.
And they didn't disrupt you here?
No.
Can I give you that? Can I wish you all the very best and congratulations? Give me a huge round of applause.
Okay. I'm with the celebrities, and because I'm kinder than I have a reputation for, we are not going to reveal all the celebrities' scores. I know. But they'll get all lovey about it, don't you worry. Now, we are going to give the top three in the reverse order, so I can tell you that third to the top was Jeremy Edwards with 120. But so was Matthew, 120, so you really joined second. The winner tonight, and goodness knows she is so used to receiving awards. Paula, congratulations. 125. Well done. Wonderful. 125. She's wonderful. She's good at everything. Philip.
Well done, just stunning. I do hope you had a good time tonight. It's been a fantastic evening. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have here in the studio. Don't forget, if you want to check your results, the lookup table is available on CFAX page 625, Anne's favourite page, and on our website at bbc.co.uk/testthenation. If you've just come in or you want to cheat and score 70 out of 70, then obviously you've heard all the answers. You can still take the test online over the next few weeks. So do give that a try if you want to.
Most importantly, thank you to everyone who played at home and helped to make this show what it is, which it is a national event. If your IQ score wasn't what you expected, don't panic. Churchill couldn't spell and Einstein couldn't speak till he was 3, and they did all right for themselves. And a huge thank you, too, to all our groups here in the studio. The Blondes, the Mechanics, the Musicians, those heavy city traders, the bodybuilders, and even the tax inspectors. You were all marvellous.
Also, let's thank our experts, Dr. Colin Cooper, and from Mensa, Sylvia Herbert. Well done, guys. Not forgetting our courageous celebrity. Very good, well done.
That's it for the National IQ Test 2003. It's been a terrific evening. We're back in the autumn. And make sure you take part. We'll be testing your general knowledge. But from this great event, the National IQ Test 2003, good night.
Good night.